The leaks and rumors surrounding Resident Evil have hit a fever pitch over the last several weeks and months, as two of the largest leakers and rumor mongers of Resident Evil just can't seem to agree on much of anything. Amidst these rumors, however, some rather interesting things have been happening with the Resident Evil franchise, both good and extremely perplexing, so let's dive into these latest bits as they better set up the leaks and rumor feuds and the big anniversary Resident Evil will be celebrating next year as it turns 30 years old. PRL412, the plaga out of that like button, and comment down below what your stance is on all this leak nonsense, and if you're itching to get into some no-nonsense pirating awesomeness, consider participating in my giveaway of Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, as that giveaway will be ending soon. Enter using the link in the description. Alright, let's get into some of the recent things that have been confirmed to be going on with Resident Evil over the past couple of weeks before we get into the conflicting leaks. Starting with the strangest one yet, a remaster of a game that I would say most of us never wanted nor thought necessary may be announced and hitting store shelves quite soon. A remaster of Resident Evil 6. Yeah, so apparently over on the ESRB website, a new listing was published and rated in late January for Resident Evil 6, and strange enough, it is only for the Xbox Series X and S for now. 2012's Resident Evil 6, often seen as the most disliked Resident Evil game for various reasons, is currently available on just about every platform under the sun right now, as remasters of the original game were released in 2016. Playable via backwards compatibility for both the PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, this listing on the ESRB is, well, I don't know what else to call it other than perplexing. The fact that this remaster has been posted on the ESRB means there is like a 99.99% chance that some kind of new version of Resident Evil 6 is about to drop soon, and while I'm thinking perhaps this game would increase the resolution and frame rate to the already existing remaster, I'm struggling to think why this new likely re-release exists in the first place. Comment down below what you make of this, and if you're interested in paying money for this game for maybe the third time. While it's still not a game that I fondly look back at for the most part, I have somewhat recently changed my tone on this one over the years, but hey, at least the Mercenaries mode here is still top tier. Beyond the realm of the Resident Evil video games, Resident Evil's presence in film continues to expand, as a new live-action film adaptation of Resident Evil is in the works and is being helmed by director Zach Kreger, known for his work on Barbarian, which will hopefully mean that we will get a respectable live-action adaptation of Resident Evil here. At least Kreger's accomplishments with the insanely profitable Barbarian are a good sign here, as this upcoming film by Constantine Film alongside PlayStation Productions aims to stay truer to the horror roots of the original games that started the franchise. Definitely something to keep your eye on if you're interested in the film side of this franchise, but getting back to the gaming side of Resident Evil, which has direct tie-ins to the feuding between the leakers, Capcom is smashing records with their recent Resident Evil remakes. As of the end of 2024, Resident Evil 2 Remake has sold an insane 15 million copies worldwide, making this title the single best-selling Resident Evil in the entire series. While Resident Evil 5 and its insane amounts of editions and re-releases have that game just barely above Resident Evil 2 Remake in terms of overall sales, RE2 Remake will soon dethrone RE5 as the highest grossing game in the series, and Resident Evil 4 Remake is quickly on its tail, as the most recent game in the series has already passed 9 million in sales as of the end of 2024, earning it the distinction of being the series' fastest selling game. At this pace, RE4 Remake is likely to ultimately come out on top as the best-selling game in the series in the coming years, with the success of these remakes having led to widespread speculation about which installment might receive the next modern overhaul, and this is where we get into the leaks and rumors surrounding the next several games that are likely to be announced soon as Resident Evil's 30th anniversary approaches. There's nothing really new to go over with the leaks, so don't come at me saying I'm not offering anything of importance here, but we're more or less addressing the state of Resident Evil leaks and rumors as we all go crazy while we wait for Capcom's unveiling of their plans for the 30th anniversary. If you'd like to catch up on all the leak and rumor drama over the past year regarding a number of remakes and Resident Evil 9, then you are in the right place. We've discussed this at length in previous videos, so it goes without saying that you should have more than just a grain of salt going into the speculation of these upcoming remakes. But as of the past year, 3 Resident Evil remakes have received some substantial leaks, those games being Resident Evil 0 and Resident Evil Code Veronica, both leaked by Dusk, and finally, another remake of Resident Evil 1, which made the rounds last spring by Biohazard Declassified. Dusk has been the most high-profile leaker of the series for the past several years, as he gained notoriety with the somewhat accurate leaks regarding the lead-up to Resident Evil Village, with Bio Declassified being more prominent with the details surrounding each game's leaks, going deeper into story elements and gameplay by leaking supposed playtest information regarding certain titles. Sticking with the remakes for now before heading into the conflicting statements going on with RE9, much of the conflicts surround the existence of Resident Evil 1 Remake, with Dusk outright claiming that these rumors and leaks are bullshit. To give some context, in May 2024, Bio Declassified posted on X and on YouTube details he received from an anonymous email about a supposed playtest of an RE Engine RE1 Remake, going over the details of this Resident Evil 1 Remake project that would be released in time for Resident Evil's 30th anniversary next year in 2026. This RE1 Remake leak was tearing up the internet last spring, with Dusk quickly responding to it by claiming that he had heard nothing of the sort and was quick to dismiss it. While we haven't heard of this potential RE1 remake project since, Dusk was quick to make a claim of his own, stating that both Resident Evil Code Veronica and Resident Evil 0 were getting ground-up remakes. While Bio Declassified didn't contribute anything to these claims of RE0 and RE Code Veronica remakes, Bio Declassified emerged later in 2024, revealing some enormous leaks from an anonymous playtester in Japan regarding Resident Evil 9, going deep into the setting, playable characters, enemies, weapons, and more. Citing that both Leon S. Kennedy and Jill Valentine would be the primary protagonists of RE9, the Resident Evil community galvanized behind the idea that some legacy Resident Evil protagonists were to return for the next mainline RE game. Well, all that came crashing down when not too long ago, Dusk reported that Jill, in fact, doesn't play any major role in Resident Evil 9, claiming that the playtest information that Bio Declassified reported pertaining to Jill's hospital section is, quote, 100% bullshit. He then went further with, wait for actual RE9 news. Nearly every Resident Evil 9 rumor that's been floated around has been bullshit. While it's impossible to know just how these rumors and leaks will fare once we get official details about Resident Evil 9, it's true that we really don't know squat about the game until we get official word from Capcom. Covering these leaks and rumors has certainly been fun, as they give us potential, and I mean potential with a big asterisk, information about what these future games could be like. So, as I always say, take these statements with grains of salt, and maybe, just maybe, they may point us in the right direction as to what these future games may have in store for us. It is so fascinating then that you have 2 leakers, both of 2 very different styles, claiming very different things. Dusk is more brief with his claims, only stating that certain games exist, whereas Bio Declassified reports from anonymous sources about key aspects of the leaked games. While they both agree that Resident Evil 9 exists, which it obviously does, I mean, Capcom even confirmed its director last year in Koshi Nakanishi, key parts of Bio's claims have been outright refuted, namely pertaining to the existence of Jill's involvement in Resident Evil 9. Heck, the entirety of Resident Evil 1 Remake has been refuted by Dusk, so in the end, this back and forth nature of learning big stuff about potential projects only to make a reversal and reverting back to square one is just the nature of leaks in general. At the end of the day, perhaps Dusk wisest remark about these leaks, one that we should very much follow, is that we should all just wait until Capcom reveals these projects and not to get too carried away with these rumors. As for me, I'll continue to inform you all of both the rumors and official news regarding Resident Evil, because, of course, who doesn't want to entertain the potential future of a beloved franchise such as Resident Evil? But my question for you is, which Resident Evil games do you think are in development outside of Resident Evil 9? Capcom has already confirmed the existence of more Resident Evil remakes in development, but which ones do you think will hit us next? Follow me over here as we go into the next likely remakes in greater detail. And I look forward to seeing you all real soon in the next one.